Hi, my name is Adam. Welcome to The Birding Life. Over the next 6 weeks, I'm really excited because what we have done is we have put together a basic bird ID course. This course is designed with novice birders in mind. Even if you've been birding for a while and you want to just sharpen up your identification skills, this is the course for you. Every week we're going to be putting a new video onto the channel. So all you got to do is you got to like, you can share, you can subscribe to this page, and every week we're going to be putting a new video onto the page. I just want to make a disclaimer. I don't claim to be an expert. I've been birding for about 2 years, and all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing my journey with you. I'm going to be sharing my struggles, and I'm going to be showing you how I learned to identify birds. And let me say, there's still times when I have to send a message to a friend and say, what the heck is this bird that I'm looking at? Now, when I started birding, I don't know about you, if you've done birding for any amount of time, when I started birding, this is how I started. I was given a Roberts Bird Guide by one of my friends. Now, the Roberts Bird Guide is one of the best bird guides that you can get, but this is what used to happen. I'd go out on the field and I'd see a bird. And then what I would do is I'd go into the book and I'd page after page after page after page after page. Sometimes I'd be lucky and find the bird, but more often than not, I'd have to send one of my friends a message and say, what bird am I looking at? Later on, I stumbled upon the Newman's Bird Guide, which is a great bird guide in South Africa. And the Newman's Bird Guide gives a 6-point system to identify birds. And this system has really helped me with the identification of birds. I've had the privilege of doing this course, not just using the Newman's Bird Guide, but I've also had the opportunity to do this course through BirdLife Port Natal, as well as with Monty Brett, which is an amazing online birding course. If you want information about any of those bird courses, we'll put links to their sites in the comment section below. So be sure to click on there, and they will really open up the topic of bird identification in a way that this course will not even open up. So without further ado, let's get going and let's help you to identify birds. So the first thing when you need to identify birds is you need to look at the size of the bird. Look at how big the bird is. Now, I know what you're thinking. You sit here and you say, how the heck do I know the size of the bird? Because you kind of got to look at the bird line. You see a bird is 23 centimeters, 30 centimeters. You're like, how the heck do I measure a bird? I can't get a ruler. I can't go out there and chase after the bird and see how long the bird is. How the heck do you expect me to measure a bird? Now, think about this. How do you know if a person is tall or short? I don't know about you. I've never ever gone and measured a person and said, well, you're tall because you are this length. The way we understand if a person is tall or short is we compare them to other people. So in other words, what happens is we know a person is tall because in comparison to another person, they are bigger. And that's exactly the same system that we use when we identify birds. What we do is we don't go and measure the bird. We compare the bird with another bird that we know. We compare the bird with a common bird. Now in South Africa, there are 3 very common birds. So the first bird is a sparrow. A sparrow is about 15 centimeters big. The second one we can use is a dove. A dove is about 25 centimeters big. And the third is a guinea fowl, which is about 55 centimeters big. So when you're looking at a small bird, it's about the size of a sparrow. When you're looking at a medium-sized bird, it's about the size of a dove. And when you're looking at a bigger bird, it's about the size of a guinea fowl. So what happens is, you look at the bird in the field, and all you do is this, is you compare the bird and say, how big or how small is the bird in relation to one of those birds? So for example, if you see a bird and you look and say, well, this bird is smaller than a sparrow, you know that the bird is smaller than 15 centimeters. If you see the bird is bigger than a dove, you know the bird is bigger than 25 centimeters. And what I suggest is get a little book and write down how big the bird is. And what you're going to be able to do is, as you go through the 6 points, you're going to be able to use that as an amazing identification feature. I really encourage you, don't rush. Start with the first step. Look at the size of the bird. And once you get to the end of the 6 steps, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to go into your book, and with all the different ID features together, you'll be able to say what bird it is. So let's say all the features match up, but the bird's like huge, and it's got the same coloration as a sparrow. You say, well, man, it can't be a sparrow because it's a lot bigger than a sparrow. So it's a great system, and it's a great system to be able to identify birds. So what I want to encourage you to do this weekend, as you go out birding and as you look at birds, all I want you to do this weekend is start looking at the size of the birds that you see. Start recording in a book how big is the bird that you see. And what you're going to start to see is you're going to start over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, you're going to start to see how these 6 points work together to help you to identify birds. So don't forget, like this video, subscribe to it, and I really encourage you next week Friday we'll be putting our next video on, so be sure not to miss out. Have a great weekend's birding, and I hope this is a weekend that you're going to see some really, really amazing birds. Be blessed.